So we'll start, of course, with your 2-minute introduction, and we'll start with Tim.
Yeah, thank you so much. And most importantly, thank you to the crowd in the room. I know the folks online can't see it, but we have a great crowd here, and it is fantastic to see the passion for the school board race this year. My name is Tim Carr. I'm running for Georgetown ISD School Board Place 6, and I am really excited to be here. You know, a little background about me. I have spent the last 17 years in a senior leadership position in technology. I have an amazing wife, Haley, and 2 beautiful kids. My younger son, Brody, who is 10, my older son, Landon, who is 12, both in GISD, one at Ford and one at Benold. You know, I think every candidate, get the question all the time, why? Why are you doing this, Tim? And I'll tell you a quick story. I know we're on a time limit, but I was afforded the opportunity a few years ago to go to the Georgetown State of the District. And we specifically moved to Georgetown for my kids to get an education in a district they could spend kindergarten through high school and graduate as proud Georgetown Eagles. And I got the opportunity to look at the amazing programs that Georgetown has, from the welding team to the culinary team to the cosmetology team to the robotics team, these automotive team. We have kids in the district that build an airplane every year and get it certified to fly and sell it to fund that program. And as a parent in this district, that is exactly what I want my kids focused on, is finding their passion, be invested in their education, and finding what makes them excited to go to school every day. So with that, thank you very much.
Sounds like it's on, Jen.
Is it on? Is it on? Testing? Okay, great. Okay, thank you. My name is Jen Malden, and my husband and I, Stan, moved to Georgetown in 1998 when I was hired as the principal of Carver Elementary, and then was asked to open Joanne Ford in 2003. In 2013, I retired and opened up a coaching and consulting practice where I'm employed today. I did not intend to return to education, but felt called when I realized the significant decline our district has experienced in the last 5 years. And I'm deeply concerned. I'm running on the platform of high academic achievement, meeting the needs of all students no matter what those needs are, teacher compensation and retention, and maximizing the taxpayers' investment in our education. I do believe that the state mandated curriculum, known as TEKS, is well thought out and continuously updated in terms by the teachers. I believe that students' mastery of the TEKS objectives for each grade level is critically important to prevent those gaps in student learning as we move forward through the school district. While I do not believe in all the tenets of the state accountability system, I do see the necessity of state assessments, the STARS, so that teachers and parents can see which objectives are mastered by their child and which objectives need to be addressed. At the school and the district level, the STAR represents an overall view of student mastery and where resources need to be reallocated. Let me be clear. I do support an academic rigor of a state curriculum and career technology, fine arts, athletic programs, special education, and dyslexia. As I close, I do want you to know that the 15 years I've served in GISD as principal were the best years of my life. Thank you very much.
No, you got to eat it. That's how they hear you. Okay, First question then, and thank you both so much for those great introductions. First question is going to go to Tim. You'll hear some of the similar questions that you heard, and I've got a couple of different questions for you. First of all, Tim, what is your vision for Georgetown ISD? How can you help shape this as a trustee?
Yeah, I'll also give you a very quick short-term, long-term vision. Short-term, I think it is absolutely imperative that we get our kids back in school 100% safely, but we need to assess these kids both from an academic standpoint, from a social emotional standpoint next year, and put very clear learning paths together to ensure that they are set up to thrive next year. Long term, 100% of our kids graduate every year with either a college readiness, career readiness, or military readiness. As a parent of 2 kids in this district, I will tell you my kids are not failing. They struggle at times. They have areas of opportunity, but I want them to find their passion. I want them to get engaged with a program, and I want to make sure every kid in our district has that exact same opportunity. Thank you.
Jen, what is your vision for Georgetown ISD? How can you help shape it as a trustee?
Okay. My vision for Georgetown ISD is a district of excellence, a district of high academic achievement that strives to meet the needs of all students. And by implementing such programs as special education, dyslexia, bilingual, English as a second language, career technology, fine arts, athletics. My voice as a trustee on matters of budget, goals, and outcome and policies will reflect this vision of excellence that meets the needs of all students.
Thank you. Question goes to you next, Jen. And these are questions from the audience. What are your top goals or your vision for addressing Hispanic or Mexican American and Black history issues at the schools?
That particularly falls under the equity area. And I think it's really important that we are very much engaged with all populations within our school district. When we look at our programs, I think it's extremely important that we disaggregate the data to make sure that all of our populations and all of our students, whether they be African American, Hispanic, white, Asian, whatever, that they be achieving academically at a level that's comparable across the board. I think that while February is usually designated as Black History Month, I think that that needs to be throughout the school year, and that we embrace and encourage cultural diversity throughout our school district.
Tim, what are your top goals or your vision for addressing Hispanic or Mexican American and Black issues in our school district?
I think it's critical for everyone to remember that every board member serves at the pleasure of our community. And that means that when we sit up here and have ideas, if we think we have it figured out, we're sorely mistaken. We have to engage the community more. We have to sit down with parents. We have to sit down with community leaders, and we have to absorb what is important to them to address those issues and make sure that we are addressing it as a community, as a group of parents. We have a bunch of amazing students that have amazing ideas every day. And if we are not engaging our community and we are not taking the right steps with their feedback, the opinion of the board doesn't matter. It's the opinion of the community and the people that we serve every day that are the most important steps. So we have to focus on working with our community to ensure what's best for our students.
Thank you. Tim, as Georgetown ISD is continuing to grow, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the school district?
You know, I think for me, it's the narrative that we're failing. I think if we continue as a community to go out every day and preach that our STAR test results are horrible, that we have failing campuses, that we have kids that aren't succeeding, and we're not embracing the amazing things we're doing, that's a recipe to not have the right growth in this community. We have to come together as a community. We have to talk about the two young men that built these trailers in our ag mechanic department that hauled them all over the state of Texas and won north of $10,000 in scholarships. We have to talk about our swimming team that just was awarded multiple medals at the state UIL meet. And oh, by the way, several of them are going to Ivy League schools. We absolutely have to fix the STAR testing. We have 6 failing campuses, and it's not okay. But we also have to talk about the positive things that this district is doing every day, and it will drive people to this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Jen, as Georgetown ISD continues to grow, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the school district?
I think the biggest challenge facing the school district, and as the district continues to grow, is the underperformance of GISD students in mastering the state curriculum. On the 2019 State Accountability Assessment that's administered to all Texas school districts, GISD students scored below the students in Region 13 and the state of Texas on over 90% of the items on that test. As the district has reported, unfortunately, 33% of our schools are rated a D or an F, and we have no A-rated schools. In comparison, in Round Rock, 50% of the schools are rated an A, and only 7% are rated a D or an F. It is imperative to our community. Yes, we need to talk about the good things that are happening in our community, but yes, it's imperative that GISD turn from this declining path back to the main role expected in Texas public schools of mastering the state curriculum known as the TEKS.
Thank you. Jen, your next question was the one that I posed earlier from the audience. As a local business owner, we're dependent on the local market and therefore the local school districts to educate and prepare our future employees. Be it technical education or general education, preparedness for the workplace or further education is crucial for lifelong success. What is GISD doing now to measure the degree of graduate preparedness for this high school to work or high school to college transition in the years after leaving GISD?
I think Georgetown is probably one of the strongest areas in Georgetown is the college career military readiness. Georgetown is already offering many pathways for advanced academics, different ways to earn college credit so that many students are walking into college with some of their hours already ready to go. They are also providing a great deal of academic advising and student support to either go whatever direction they want to go, whether it's military, whether it's career, or whether it's college. Georgetown also offers a wide range of the career technology, and Tim mentioned the trailers. That was amazing to see what these young men were able to do. They offer courses and programs to teach technical knowledge and skills. And in addition, some opportunities through the community of industry-based certification. So I think a lot of fine work has been done in this area in GISD.
Tim, I will just repeat the question portion of this for you. What is GISD, excuse me, doing now to measure the degree of graduate preparedness for high school to work or high school to college transition in the years after leaving GISD?
Yeah, just a quick data point. When we measure accountability ratings, when the state measures accountability ratings at elementary and middle school levels, it's rated strictly off the STAR test. It is pass-fail. When we get to the high school level, the high schools take into account our CCMR participation, how well we're doing there, our graduation rates, how well we're doing there, the STAR testing. It takes multiple data points to show how that campus is doing. By the way, both of those campuses are rated as a B. If you just looked at the community impact this last week, they came out with data where our school district graduated 96% of our students. The state average was 90. Our dropout rate is 0.5%. The state average is 2%. So we are doing the right things to measure, to ensure our kids are not only prepared to succeed when they graduate, regardless of what path they take, but they're prepared when they get there. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next question goes to you first. Elected trustees are part of what is called the Team 8. This refers to the concept of trustees working with the superintendent to implement policy. What makes you uniquely qualified to help the trustees achieve the district's direction from a team perspective?
You know, I've spent the last 17 years of my career in technology senior leadership, managing multiple hundreds of people in an organization. I can tell you one thing that works every time is collaboration, teamwork, and listening. We have to listen to each other. And I've built teams on this philosophy. I've been very successful doing it, and it's very similar at a school board. We have to collaborate. We have to listen. We have to understand that there's differing opinions, and with the right focus and the right conversation, we can come up with a plan that is best for these students. I highlighted it earlier, and I'm extremely passionate about it as well. We absolutely have to be transparent with the community. We have to get feedback. And it's not just that team of 8. It's the team of 70,000 or however many is in Georgetown that is critical to ensure we work well together. Thank you.
Jen, what makes you uniquely qualified to help the trustees achieve the district's direction from a Team 8 perspective?
Okay. With my extensive background in education administration, I work closely with a range of superintendents, and I understand the role and the challenges that that job holds, the superintendency holds. While every school board member brings unique challenges to the board, my experience in education allows me to read and evaluate data and provide expertise in evaluating goals and outcomes, to understand the daily lives of students, teachers, and principals in a public school. To be able to have, I've had many years of working effectively with all parents to connect, and particularly in the role of a board member, in some cases to explain policies with regard to the district. Probably the last piece that I think is so important is being able to have a background in order to have the questions to ask about a topic that's being discussed, which sometimes can be difficult in the field of education.
Thank you, Jen. You'll start the final question that we have for you two tonight before your closing remarks. Georgetown ISD's Citizens Advisory Committee, or CAC, is currently meeting to discuss the potential for a bond election. How would you evaluate the need and time of calling for a bond, and what is the role of a trustee in bond management?
Okay. During my 25 years of serving as a principal, I was asked to open 2 new schools, one in the Houston area and one at Joanne Ford in Georgetown in 2003. For this reason, I am enjoying the background work of opening new schools by serving on the CAC myself, and the potentially, and listening to the demographer's reports, and also the financing and the bond capacity for the school district. The school board's role on the CAC is to study the recommendation of this committee and to call an election if a bond issue is appropriate. While I think it's important to keep up with the growth of our community in terms of school building structures, I am much more interested in the instructional program that is occurring inside the school rather than the building itself. It is critical that every school have the necessary staffing and instructional resources to meet the needs of the students in that community in which they serve.
Tim, regarding the Citizens Advisory Committee and their discussion about a potential bond election, how would you evaluate the need and time of calling for a bond, and what is the role of a trustee in bond management?
Yeah, so I also sit on the Citizen Advisory Committee, and just to give everyone a quick breakdown, it is several members of the community that are tasked with working through the methodology of if we need the bond, looking at current infrastructure, really assessing the demographics and future of the district. In that process, I would argue that the board should have zero participation. It is a job of the Citizen Advisory Committee to put a package together and go to the board and either suggest a bond or suggest that we don't need a bond. With that, I think it is critically important that our board, although we're in difficult times, I think we can all agree that coming out of the pandemic this past year is challenging. We have to focus on the future. If you looked at the demographics report that was just presented this week at the school board, we're the second fastest growing city in the state of Texas, and we have to ensure that we have capacity for our kids moving forward. So it will be critical coming out of the Citizen Action Committee to make that right decision. Thank you.
Thank you both very much. Jen, I'm going to go to you first for your 1-minute closing remarks. Thank you.
Okay. As an educator for over 30 years and 25 years as a principal, and my current position as a consultant coach with leaders of nonprofit and educational institution, I think I bring a unique set of experience and skills to the GISD school board. I care deeply about the children and the families in this community, and I would love to represent them as a board member. Thank you, and thank you, Trent Chamber, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Tim?
Yeah, I want to close with, as a parent of 12 years and a parent of GISD students for the last 7 years, I want to be very clear with stating our students are not failing. We have areas of opportunity. We can absolutely, and we will improve on the STAR test. But I've been in the corporate world my whole life, and we've never measured the success or failure of anyone on anything off of one data point. And we will not do that in the district. We will continue to strive to be better. We will fix the test scores, but most importantly, we will celebrate these kids every day that are doing amazing things and ensure that everyone knows that Georgetown ISD is a destination if they're moving to this great state of Texas. Thank you very much.
Thank you both very much.